Welcome back. We started the week with freeze warnings on the North Shore.
Extremes, and by Saturday, some areas could be close to 80 degrees. We were just talking about this, and Bruce Katz has a closer look at your Weather Authority forecast.
That's right. Just during the break, they were reading that and saying, Bruce, is that right? Yes, believe it or not. Last night freezing. We may be near 80 on Saturday. Notice we see the clouds continuing to move in. So today we turn mostly overcast, and during the afternoon hours, most of us got into the 60s, still below the average, where today we hit 60, should be at 68, so still about 8 below that. But look at the morning lows. We expected again a light freeze and patchy frost on the North Shore, anywhere from 31 to 33 up there. Even south and west of the lake in the mid-30s from Galliano to Houma. Kenner got down to 38. And look at the Gulf Coast, 32 to 36, Gulfport and Biloxi. So as we take a look at the morning lows tomorrow morning, they're going to be drastic. In fact, a good 12 to 15 degrees warmer than this morning, where I'm expecting mostly upper 40s to lower 50s on the North Shore. And as we take a trip down to the south, we're looking at the mid to upper 50s. And along the coast, as that warm, moist air begins to build in, I think Grand Isle and Boothfield will begin to actually rise overnight as temperatures will begin to rebound with that southeast wind. Here's what we're looking at now on the moisture loop. And you can see in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, you're looking now at about 18 to 30,000 feet way up. We certainly see all that moisture moving in, and that is not good for fronts because with a parallel wind, the fronts have a hard time moving through. As a result, in the southern and in the lower latitudes, we're going to see a southeast wind that will begin to warm us up. And look at this big swirl here. That is the cold air that was yesterday and the day before over us. Now you can see it's really beginning to shift eastward, and as it does, we're going to see that drastic warm-up coming in over the next couple of days. So once again, we're looking at some snow and a little rain to the north. Really overall, the nation not looking that bad, but as we look a little bit closer in, things are pretty quiet despite the clouds moving in, but we've got some big changes on the way, not only with warm temperatures, but the chance of some strong to even maybe severe thunderstorms coming in Friday night into Saturday morning. Look at the temperatures. Here's what we're looking at now. Remember we talked about that cold air mass? That is now moving east where Montgomery is at 51, but look to the west. Dallas is up to 70. So once again, that warm air is going to continue to invade southeast Louisiana, and the temperature change on average. Earlier, I was looking at some of these numbers. They were up to 12 to 14 degrees warmer. So we are definitely going to see those temperatures each and every day on the way up. And outside right now, most of us with the cloud cover in the upper 50s to lower 60s. So it's really not cold out there, but it's getting damp out there. So 50s with cloud cover and the moisture and humidity coming up. Yep, it does feel a bit uncomfortable. Now, the temperature change closer to home on average, anywhere from 2 to 8 degrees warmer. And once again, those numbers with the southeast wind will be heading up to near 80. Yes, that is correct, near 80. Believe it or not, on Saturday, southeast winds and south winds, you know what that means? That's a warm wind coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. Here's a look now at the Fox 8 forecast model. Some big changes for now, at least tonight into tomorrow morning. We're not expecting rain, but notice a lot of cloud cover as temperatures begin to rebound. Now, as we get into Thursday, during the day tomorrow, we are going to see a few scattered showers. Tomorrow, rain coverage 30%. I think we'll see a stray shower here and there. And then, as we move in time, getting into Friday, during the morning, we may see a coastal shower. Here comes the warm front, and look what happens. With this feature moving in, by Friday afternoon, we're going to watch a developing system, more moist air south and west of the actual system. Then, by midnight, overnight, we could see the threat of severe weather, not only here, but even farther north is a higher risk. So notice that the main low is far to the north. That's where the worst of the weather would be. But around here, we are still not out of the woods, and I'll show you that severe weather threat coming up in a moment. But the good news for the crew of Jingle on Saturday, it looks as though that system moves eastward, really not a cold front, more of a trough, and it looks like by the afternoon, things will begin to dry out just a little bit. So, as we talked about, severe weather risk will be North Louisiana heading into areas of central Arkansas and just around Memphis, Tennessee. So with the low being north, this is going to be where I think the biggest outbreak of severe weather could be, with the exception down south. We're going to have to watch Viper and see what's happening again overnight Friday into early morning Saturday. For tonight, going to be a mild night as that cold air begins to shift eastward. Our temperatures, we're not talking 30s, we're not talking 40s, we're talking near 50 north, 56 south. Could see some outside 40s coming in north around Macomb and maybe around Franklinton and Bogalusa. And then tomorrow, kind of a gray day. Temperature, how about this? Up to 72. That's actually above the normal where we should be. Temperatures will begin to warm from tomorrow all the way through the weekend. And take a look at the rain chances for the week ahead. I'm going to go tomorrow, 30%. During the day Friday, not a whole lot, but then overnight Friday into Saturday morning, could see some strong storms. Rain begins to end during the day on Saturday. Sunday, a few scattered showers into Monday as well. And here's a look now at the weekly forecast in detail. Temperatures really all over the board, from the 70s to the 80s, back to the 50s by Wednesday. Look at the overnight lows, from the 60s to the 50s, back down to the 30s on Wednesday. So kind of hard to keep up with here, but don't put away the shorts and don't put away the sweaters. Next several days, you'll need them all.
It's been really dreary outside today, and rain could be on the way.
Another change in the forecast. Let's check back in with meteorologist Bruce Katz.
That is right. We expected warm up, we expected clouds, and yes, even more rain and the threat of severe weather. First, let's take you to the Big D right now in Dallas at Jerry's World, and of course, a lot of the Houdat Nation, they're going to be in the stadium tonight for the big Saints game. Weather there is absolutely beautiful for all the fans heading over to Dallas, but for us, we're going to be watching out coming out of Mexico. This is going to be a feature that by tomorrow night moves in with a front that's going to bring a threat of severe weather, but that will not occur until tomorrow night. I'm going to time it out for you coming up in a moment, but during the day today, we expected a 30% chance of just a few widely scattered showers, and I would say the coverage pretty much right on target. And as we show you the satellite picture, here's our daylight shot, just a ton of clouds moving in from the west and southwest. So as the moisture increases with a very strong southerly flow, our rain chances will be heading up as well. Now this morning, we had temperatures well north in the 40s, but actually as the morning went on, these began to warm. So even the South Shore, you can see we had low to mid 50s, and then as that warm air moved in, 59 Belle Chase, 64 in Port Fourchon, so that warm sector is invading much of the area. Outside, temperature-wise, we are still in the upper 60s to low 70s. Right now, as we look at the temperatures coming through the daylight hours, our daytime high today at Slidell 71, 70 at Kenner, getting up to 70 at the lakefront, and of course, with the maritime waters, some of those cooler temperatures along the coast are a little bit cooler as we see upper 60s. So outside, temperatures in the mid 60s now. Out to the west of us, look at Dallas. Boy, it's a warm one out there. 78 degrees and a big warm up throughout much of the Gulf Coast. Anywhere from 8 to 12 to 15 degrees warmer, and that warm up will continue as the next several days go by. Outside right now, 64 to 66 North Shore, 68 to 69 on the South Shore. So the temperatures pretty uniform as that wind continues out of the south and southeast at about 8 to 12 miles per hour. So you know the south wind's a warm wind, and then it's going to start feeding into two systems. First, we're going to be watching this feature coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, and then here's another one in the midsection. That's going to be moving northeastward, and as that moves in, it's going to pull this feature from the Gulf in and bring with it the potential of severe weather. The good news, I think the dynamics of the most severe weather will be well to the north of us. But nevertheless, today, no threat of severe weather through tonight. But overnight tomorrow night into early morning Saturday, we have now been upgraded from a marginal, which is number 1, to a 2, slight risk in yellow. And you can see for southeast Louisiana during the morning hours. At this point, I'm a little optimistic that we won't see a widespread severe weather outbreak. Not to say we won't see a strong storm. However, I think most of it will be north. Let's put it into motion for you, and I'll explain why. Here comes your warm front. Warm air continuing to surge in. By tomorrow morning, scattered showers on the coast. By the afternoon, I'm going to go 20 to 30%. Not going to be a really rainy day tomorrow, but boy, the warm winds, look at the winds ripping out of the south. And then as we get into tomorrow night into early morning Saturday, here come the storms. This complex will begin to move in. By far, though, I think this is going to be the area we're going to see the worst case of possible severe weather. Not to say that we don't get a blow-up storm here. And as we move into about the 10 o'clock hour, on your Saturday, most of the rain begins to move eastward, and you can see by the afternoon Saturday, we begin to clear up. But the deal is, this is really not a cool front. This is just a wave moving in as the winds will be more westerly. With a west wind, we're not going to really cool down until a big front moves in by next Tuesday and Wednesday. So once again, here's what we're looking at. Overnight tomorrow night, I want to specify into the evening hours tomorrow night into early Saturday. That's when, of course, we're going to have to watch very closely. What about rainfall? Not expecting a whole lot as we go through tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to stop it at about 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. So from now through 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we may get barely about a quarter of an inch. Not a big deal. But look what happens as we move into the overnight hours. By midnight, coming in on Saturday, you can see that system moving in. And for now, hopefully the worst dynamics stay offshore. Of course, again, we will watch that. Tonight, we're expecting a passing shower. Not bad if you're heading to the Saints watch parties or maybe to friends' houses or family. 64 to 66. For tomorrow, a stray shower moving in. 20% coverage, not a big deal at 78. Here's a look now at the rain chances for the next several days. 30% tomorrow, overnight Friday into early Saturday. Good chance. Rain ends by midday Saturday. Sunday and Monday, a slight chance. And then finally, we do begin to turn quite a bit cooler. From the 80s, we go to the 50s by Tuesday and Wednesday. And as we wrap it up for you, we are expecting those up and down temperatures to continue. So tonight, heading out for the Saints game or wherever you're going to watch it, looking pretty good.
All right. Thanks so much, Bruce.
All righty.